Ladies and gentlemen, new camera angle, new me. Time for a bit of a first impression slash, kind of first thoughts on, well, the game that you see before you, Sumeru 3.0, the newest patch in Genshin history. It's kind of an expansion. These 0.0 patches, these X.0 patches are expansions. They are massive expansions to the game, and they have to add a lot of things, a lot of fun, a lot of new stuff, a lot of interest. And let me just say one thing. Sumeru has done that. I want to go over just a fair few of the things that I've experienced whilst playing Sumeru, and kind of just say my initial thoughts on everything. Starting off with, we can start off with the characters. We're two new characters right now, one coming in the second phase. So right now we have Tighnari and Collei, two amazing characters in my honest opinion. The only problem with them, they only really work together. You do need both of them to get extreme value out of the other, because that Dendro resonance is ridiculously strong for Tighnari. But you could use Collei by herself, which is absolutely fine as well. But yeah, Tighnari, really good. I've got him up to C3 right now. I do have a guarantee to get him to C4. Free to play. Bear in mind, I will always advocate for free to play because it's slightly funner in my opinion. But he's a great character in my opinion. He's for the first Dendro character, he's good. He's great. Dendro is a really, really strong reaction. Dendro is, you know, primarily going to be used with Electro. The aggravate and spread reactions are ridiculously strong. Burning, not so much. It was kind of nerfed before its actual launch, maybe because it was too overpowered, but regardless, Dendro, Tighnari, and Collei, extremely strong characters, synergetical, resonance, the actual elements. Kind of sad that there's no like Dendro and Cryo reaction or Dendro and Animo. Kind of sad. I don't know why they didn't do that, but is what it is. You can't really win everything, but currently Dendro and Electro are really strong. You can actually even make your whole team kind of Electro team, or your Electro team a main DPS team if you just use Dendro, because it really does elevate it to a different level. I feel like Electro characters are going to see a resurgence in gameplay with Dendro coming in because Dendro is enabling Electro and vice versa, Electro enabling Dendro, and it's super strong. I'm going to be using Tighnari in the next Spiral Abyss reset, which I believe is tomorrow, just to see how he fares. Obviously, the new Spiral Abyss is going to be Dendro-centered, at least for the first one. It's going to change that Electro field effect to something else, maybe Dendro something, as well Dendro damage bonus in probably floor 11. So I'm going to try him out there, see what I can do in tomorrow's stream, but for tonight, someone else. Regardless, I'm getting sidetracked. We've done the characters, we looked at the characters, the resonance, the elements. What's next? Well, the quest. The quest is amazing. I genuinely do believe that the quest right now, the Archon quest, Chapter 3, Act 1 and 2, are brilliant. Mihoyo seems to be moving to a bit darker of a route. Not necessarily like kind of grim like something like Honkai, definitely not. But it is like talking about a lot more darker topics, and if you read a bit of the finer text here and there, not necessarily deep diving into like reading books and whatnot in the game or deep diving lore, but if you pay attention to what the characters are saying and what they're insinuating, you'll get a lot darker of a kind of feel. Experimentation, you know, not necessarily torture to an extent, but there are these kind of aspects kind of being hinted at by these characters being done and whatnot, and it's a great step. Whilst, you know, I don't condone these acts, obviously, it's a great step for story writing because if, you know, portrays intensity, it portrays suspense and weight, that is. Which is great. As for the actual, what we do in the quest, well, they introduced a new concept, the contemplation concept, where you have ideas posed to you and you have to actually, like, you know, click them and connect them in some way. Kind of like a mind map, if you will. You have this mind map kind of gameplay. Although it's not too in-depth, the introduction of it kind of is a good thing because it gives us hope that they're going to expand upon it in future patches, and we're going to get even more and more like this kind of, oh, you're given ideas, and then in a little bit of a mini game mode, you have to combine these ideas to a mind map and find the answer, and you can actually fail and have to restart and whatnot. I think that would be a really cool introduction. But as for the actual quest contents, you know, you start Act 1 not knowing anyone, Tighnari, get introduced, Sumeru City, and then from there, Sumeru City, you meet all the characters, Dia, Nilo, and then you move on to Port Ormos, Alhaitham. Cool fight scene, absolutely amazing character. Alhaitham, actually pretty cool character, not gonna lie. I didn't have high hopes for him, but he's a pretty cool character. I will not lie. I thought he was going to be a bit more stuck up. He's just a bit more to the point, really. Not really stuck up, but it is what it is. After Port Homos, come back to Sumeru City. You meet some people, meet a small green girl. Not going to say who its name, because you maybe haven't done the story, but you meet a small green girl. Maybe she's on the front cover of the actual launcher. Who fucking knows? But yeah, it's a great story, and it has to do with a specific kind of concept that I think is explored rather well. And it kind of leaves the story in a pretty good cliffhanger for patch 3.1 to actually continue with the chapter 3 of the Archon quest, which will be the, I believe, the final chapter. So 3.1 will be the final chapter for the Archon quest itself, which is also going to take us into the desert zone. As we know, we've seen clips of the desert zone through the demos or the leaks that they've put on their YouTube channel. But regardless, that's amazing. And we haven't even talked about the Sumeru zone itself now. The quest is amazing. I haven't done the Tignari quest personally, but it is what it is. We're going to do it maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night, who knows. But the zone itself, the map itself, absolutely amazing. I've already collected all the Dendroculus, and if you need a guide, this video right here, somewhere on the screen, it's going to be there. I've got a guide on all the 110 of them if you need them. Go ahead and get them. You get a lot of primodes and a lot of gems and a lot of whatever stuff. But yeah, the zone itself is fucking amazing. They've introduced one specific mechanic that I think is beautiful, the grapple hook mechanic, or the tether mechanic as I sometimes refer to it as, which is, well, you have a node in the sky, you press T and you tether to it, or you grapple hook to it. It's amazing. It's all over Sumeru. It could be a lot more frequent. I think every cliff face should have it, just to make traversing it a lot quicker. But that's like maybe a personal gripe. What I think they should have done though, and this is just a bit of constructive criticism, is instead of having these grapple hook nodes, actually give us a grapple hook gadget. That's just maybe obvious in my eyes, maybe not obvious for some other people, but a grapple hook gadget would have been amazing because it would have been most useful, sorry, I can't speak English, in Sumeru, because Sumeru's terrain is quite many different high points, but it's not too severe, and a lot of different caves with a lot of different like kind of platforms and whatnot. Kind of feels like you're playing a platformer. But the reason for the gadget is so that you can actually just use it in the other zones. Like, we all still know that this part of Leeway is just annoying to traverse. We all know that the chasm has its well high points, and even areas like Inazuma, sorry. These areas right here, the mountainous regions, and then also Narukami Islands Mountain, you know, having the grapple hook there would make the game just infinitely funner. You know, it's not really about the getting things done quicker, but it's about the fun factor. It's the same reason that I advocate for mounts to be added, is because whilst it does make things quicker, by all means, moving faster means you are quicker and doing your things more efficiently, but it's also just fun. Let me move around the map a bit more sporadically. Let me move around at different speeds. Let me find these cheesy areas that I can, like, you know, maybe be a bit more quicker, you know? So that's the one thing they could have done with the grapple hook. But regardless of my constructive criticism, be it all negative or other, I think Sumeru is an amazing zone with these grapple hooks. Like, grappling between the forests of the Apam Woods feels amazing. It just feels great. And the zone itself, whilst I don't like the fact that it's all green, I'm more excited about the 3.1's region of the desert zone, because, you know, listen, the past like 5 zones that we've had are all green. Mondstadt, Leeway, Inazuma, the chasm, even though it's red on the map, it still has a lot of greenery on it. And then now Sumeru, it's all green. I'm sick of the color green. I just want like red, yellow, black, purple. Give me some darker colors that aren't green. I'm sick of green. But maybe that's just a personal gripe. It's still a fantastic zone, a lot of stuff to do, and it's all different. The puzzles aren't actually as what people expected as well. The open world puzzles that you find actually in Sumeru, a lot of people expected mathematical puzzles. Inazuma was known for having these logic puzzles, the turning cubes, the changing kind of symbols. One of the ones that was in Watatsumi Island that you actually had to like have a degree in mathematics to like know. People expected Sumeru to have, you know, long division, you know, long multiplication, like, you know, integers, whatever. No, the puzzle's actually a lot simple. It's just a lot of, how do I describe it? It's kind of shoot shit. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to say it. It's just you kind of pick up a Dendrogram and you shoot something, or you have to have a Dendro character. That's probably the one thing that's very heavily insinuated there, is that you need a Dendro character. So if you don't have Kole, or if you haven't gotten her from the event, then that's been unfortunate. Go get her. But yeah, you kind of need Dendro for like 99% of the puzzles. Other than that, you kind of just do random kind of small tasks. They have a lot of the kind of tile puzzles scattered around the map. Overall though, chef's kiss of a zone. But as much as I'm praising Sumeru, and as much as I am loving Sumeru, what do I think of the game right now? Well, it's still Genshin Impact. There's still no end game. There's still no grind. There's still no difficulty. Let me be honest. The two new bosses aren't difficult. The enemies aren't really that difficult. I haven't encountered a single enemy in the zone or in this kind of the whole of 3.0 that would pose an actual threat in any manner. So is 3.0 a really good patch? Really, really good. Would it be my favorite? No. 2.4 is my favorite. But is it a really good patch? Absolutely. Is Genshin good? For now. Is Genshin really fun? For now. We're gonna have to wait and see just what they add. The event right now is moderately fun. It's just kind of like a generic event, nothing really too crazy. Well, Lost Riches is like around the corner. I'm just waiting to see what they do with adding more things. Spiral Abyss is still our only end game, and whilst it may be increasing in difficulty, quote unquote, somehow, it's still just going to be a 4-floor fortnightly reset. It's not that hard. So yeah, this patch I give a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10, whilst Genshin still remains a pretty mediocre experience if you're playing day to day. And that's pretty much my first impressions of this game. Or not this game, rather, of this patch. I think it's great. Enjoy the patch to your heart's content. Explore. If you need guide videos on the Dendro Oculuses or the bosses, I've got them up. Go check them out or whatever if you need it. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And have an amazing day. See you next time.